So, by the way, this is the actual photo of our campus. So we are in the national park in the mountain. So Đông Á University is near to the city, near to the sea, and then we are in the forest. We are on the mountain. Yeah. So it's a very beautiful campus. So today, I mainly two parts. The first one is about our unique campus and the study program. And the second one is our actions towards education for climate change. Yeah. So first, I explain this one. So by the way, I just want to introduce KIT to, let's say, here. So we are here in the Da Nang city. Unfortunately, there are no direct flight to Phnom Penh. Do you know Cambodia? Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. So we are not in the Phnom Penh. As I mentioned, we are in the national park. I mean the Kirilong National Park. It's on the mountain. So almost 2 hours from international Phnom Penh Airport. So this is our campus. It's a very beautiful campus like this. So we have nature, we have the resort restaurant, we have the resort accommodation, and also we have the canteen, we have the auditorium, we have the classroom like this. So this is our environment in Kirilong. So Kirilong Institute of Technology is a boarding school. So initially, all the students live together, study together, and then do, let's say, enjoy together. But because of the pandemic, now almost 60% of the students are stay here in Kirilong. But we are still operating as a boarding school. Yeah. So currently we have the 3 majors: software engineering, tourism management, and planning and design. Planning and design is more to the architecture. So we have 3 majors, and then, as you know, the head of the departments are also from India, from Zimbabwe. So all the program is in English. So it's a very international program for all the departments. Yeah. So I also want to explain about our very unique education system. So we are in the digital age. We are in the, let's say, era of AI, artificial intelligence. So this is a very important, let's say, fact that we are facing now. So era of AI, it's kind of the era of constant innovation. So almost every day we have a lot of the innovation. Everything is changing very rapidly. So that is why sometimes we really, let's say, struggle to catch up the latest trend in the business, because the, let's say, the industry change is too fast for academia. So that is why KIT focused on the 3 skill sets. The number 1 is the interpersonal skill set, because we don't predict the future. So, like last year, ChatGPT, you know ChatGPT, correct? So generative AI suddenly appeared us, and then it's very difficult for us to implement ChatGPT to our curriculum, because there are no textbook, there are no, let's say, the journal papers. So that is why the students or the graduates have to learn by themselves. So that is why the interpersonal skills is very important now. The second one is the interpersonal skill. So of course, if we learn only by ourselves, it's very difficult to catch up the latest trend. We need to have the team to learn together, to develop ourselves together. So that is why interpersonal communication skill is very important. And then number 3 is a cognitive skill. So the robot with very, very smart AI can replace the human beings. So that is why human beings should be upgraded with the cognitive skills. So this kind of the very, very high level, let's say, the skill set is needed for everyone. Not only for the engineering student, not only for the, let's say, the management students, but for all the students. So that is why KIT is, let's say, have a clear target to, let's say, develop our students. So as I mentioned, the interpersonal skills, it's more to the managing of behavior and future. And then interpersonal skills, the building a relationship globally. And then number 3 is the cognitive skill. It's a higher level of the skills, like critical thinking, problem solving, knowledge implementation, the creativity, something like that. But as an academic institution, it's very difficult for us to implement these kind of the program to our curriculum. That is why KIT has a very unique educational model. By the way, as I mentioned, so higher education institution has a lot of the difficulties because, as I mentioned, the new ideas or technologies are suddenly implemented to the business. But if we want to analyze the business, research the business, it takes time. So usually, the new technology or new idea implemented to the industry. So, and then the researcher of the universities started to, let's say, the research about the business. Then, maybe 1 or 2 years after that, the researcher will, let's say, produce some journal papers, the conference papers. Then, they can also, let's say, issue the textbook. Then that textbook can be utilized as a curriculum. But we cannot wait for that. If we wait for that, we will lose our, let's say, competitiveness in the market. So that is why recently the higher education institution has a lot of the issues. So it's kind of the gap between industry and academia, it becomes, let's say, larger and larger. So that is why KIT Cambodia is exploring the new educational model through the seamless academia-industry collaboration and entrepreneurship education. So this is kind of the sample of the program of KIT. So first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. And then this orange part is a very common, let's say, the academic part. So in the first year, we are providing the foundation year program to all students, nevertheless, the department. And then from the second year, we will provide the core programs for each major. But at the same time, KIT is also providing the project-based learning, very, very intensive project-based learning or internship. And then, as you can see here, so for the first year, we mainly focus on the academic program, but gradually, the PBL or internship will be increased like this. So in the latest curriculum, the fourth year is almost 95% PBL. So usually we are providing more than 3,000 hours of the internship to all the students. So if we work 40 hours per week, 50 weeks per year, so usually the 1 year, 2,000 hours for working hours. So 3,000 hours means equivalent to the 1.5 years of the real work experience. So we have a very, very intensive PBL or internship to all the students. But internship is very useful for students, but it's very difficult for us to monitor the outcome from each student. Because, for example, if we just send our student to industry, to the one company in Danang City, for example, we cannot monitor the student's progress. So, KIT has a very strong system with the incubation center. So, all the students is under the incubation center. So, each project is also managed by the incubation center. So, we have a very strong team as a virtual company. It's a, let's say, a kind of a project team at the KIT, and the incubation center of KIT. And then each student has a role and responsibility in each, let's say, team of the project. So, for example, why we call the project team as a budget company? Because the organization of each project is like a company, like real company. So each project team has a president, vice president, HR function, public relations, something like that. So each of the students has a clear role and responsibility. So that is why the students need to work together as a team. It's very clear system. So that is why we can nurture our student with, let's say, these three, let's say, skill sets. So this is our model of the, let's say, PBL at KIT. As a result, we are very new university. So we established in 2014. So actually this year is the 10th anniversary of KIT. And then we have both Japanese and Cambodian students. And then 20% of the Cambodian graduates are currently working in Japan. They don't speak Japanese, but their qualification is very high. So that is why they can work in Japan. And then we also have some Japanese graduates. For example, C is currently working for Microsoft. So we can say, of course, this is a newly developed educational model. So, but we can say the result as of now is great. So we can say that we are delivering the global vision to the world. So this is a very brief explanation of our model of the education. So we are focusing on the very seamless academic industry collaboration through the incubation center. So I just want to be aligned with the topic of this conference. So I also want to talk about our action towards education, higher education for the climate change. So by the way, so as I mentioned, so this year is the 10th anniversary of KIT. So that is why we have to be upgraded. So that is why we invited the new chairman from Japan. He's a Dr. Senmoto. He's a kind of a legendary entrepreneur in Japan. So with this new management team, we strongly focus on the 5 key initiatives. So number 1, the educating the digital and AI parents. So this is not just about the engineering student, but for even the management student, architecture student, it's same. So all the students at KIT have to understand the clear picture of AI. Then for engineering student, of course they understand the technology of the AI itself. But for the management student, architecture student, they have to lead the technology of AI in the industry. So that is a concept. Another one, the cultivating the leadership with entrepreneurship and resilience. So we cannot predict the future. So that is why the sense of the entrepreneurship, sense of the resilience is also very, very important. So that is why we clarify this part. And number 3, advancing the rural development through technology. As I mentioned, Kirilo Institute of Technology is not in the city, not in Phnom Penh. We are in the very, very rural area, in the national park. Actually, there are so many local, let's say, MSMEs as well. So with our technology, we can also support the local enterprises in our, let's say, the land. So for example, recently we started to discuss with one of the factory of the dry mango in near Kirilo, and then we can support the digitalization in manufacturing of the factory with our technology. So this is what we are about to do. And then the number 4, promoting sustainable innovation through deeper connection with nature. So we are in the national park. So that is why we also clarified we need action for the sustainable development. Yeah. So this is also connected with the act against the climate change. Yeah. And then number 5, the global collaboration, particularly with Japan and ASEAN industries. So we have a lot of the network in Japan, but recently we are also expanding our network in ASEAN countries as well, including Vietnam. So this is the new, let's say, 5 key initiatives of KIT. And then we also include this part, including the climate change. So this is our action. And then, so we have a lot of the project under KIT. And then, let's say, we really want our students to understand clear picture of the social issues in the world, including the climate change. So that is why.
Go fast, huh? You will go fast.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Go fast.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say, yeah. So in the foundation program, we also included some kind of community service activity so that the student also can understand clear picture of the social issues in the world. So I think that this part is very connected with the collaboration with the Đông University. So we are in the forest, we are in the mountain. So if we can send our students to Dana, they will understand the issues in the the sea area. Yeah. So this is very important, I think. So just as a summary, so I just explained about the intersection of the nature and technology, a unique approach to the climate change at KIT Cambodia. So we are the brands, the rural development, sustainable growth, and human resource development in the digital age or era of AI. Yeah. So the KIT Cambodia encourages students to promote understanding the, let's say, the preservation of the nature, foster the sustainable development, act against climate change, and utilize advanced technologies to address the global challenges. So this is what we are doing, and then we really need more practical learning opportunities in sustainable development towards the climate change. So hopefully, the collaboration with the Đông Á University is one of that. Yeah. So I really want to send our students to Đông Á University, and then we are very welcome your students to come to KIT Cambodia as well. So that's all. Yeah, thank you very much.